silos, turnstile, triple ganger, bring the end in line with the beginning. These 4 installations are part of Brian Molanphy's mixed media exhibit on display at the Beatrice M. Haggerty Gallery at the University of Dallas.
It's business disguised as pleasure, or pleasure disguised as business. It's both things going on.
Like Marcel Proust, one of his influences, Molanphy is interested in facets of human nature beyond duality.
He talks about kind of how things are at least double, but it's a bit of a wry kind of understatement to say that they're at least double. But he's saying that no, they're always far more complicated than a simple two-sidedness.
Molanphy's piece Triple Ganger is an elaboration on that idea.
A more common term, or even a really well-treaded trope, is doppelganger, so a double walker. Triple ganger is much less common, and it's not maybe so important that it be 3 as it is just that it be more than 2.
So Molanphy created 33 shapes based on architectural thumbnail sketches by Francois Blanciac and tripled them in a variety of ceramic materials for a total of 99 objects.
Part of that tripling is I wanted to get away from a binary of saying, so one is an original and one is a copy, or one is the figure and the other is the shadow. I wanted to make that more ambiguous about, well, which is the figure, which is the shadow? Are they all shadows? In a way, they're all shadows of Blanciac's drawings.
Molanphy explores the tension between substance and shadow in his work, as well as the idea of the vessel and what's contained therein. His resume is equally eclectic. I saw artist and educator, which make absolute sense, and then I saw bookmaker and baker, which were a little bit of a surprise. So can you tell me a little bit about that part of your life and how it has affected your work as an artist?
I studied art at university, and probably the most important part of that experience was working at a small press, a letter press, where we made the books. We set the type, inked the presses, printed the papers, bound the books, and we were working with small editions of handmade books, poetry, sometimes historical texts. I was particularly interested in typesetting, so arranging the letters, and in making this container for an idea that we got from an editor, from a poet, or from an artist, because we're often dealing with a lot of visual elements as well as the text. Went to France to continue making paper, but also began to make bread in France. So kind of shift from paper pulp to bread dough. And when I came back to the States, I worked as a pastry chef. So those are the two kind of things that for me led to ceramics.
Molanphy has used those experiences to inform his work and hopes he can encourage his students to do the same.
The show here is an opportunity for me to show my students rather than telling them. It's something I want to be careful with, because I don't want to make the course about me, or about the art that I make. So I have to be very careful with that. But I do want to make myself an example and not just, say, a preacher.
This is Kathy Whiteman reporting.